Hey, welcome back. We're going to start to learn how to use and manipulate the biped in this tutorial. So hopefully we'll end up with something similar to what's on the right here. So I'm just going to switch shading back on, front view and back view. What we're going to do now is I'm going to hide this section of the troll there, because we don't need that. And I'm also going to hide that. And with these segregations here, I'm going to select them all, properties, and I want to turn show frozen in grey off, and I want to freeze it. Basically this means now I cannot drag or mess with anything of our mesh, which is going to help us while we're trying to place our biped in position. So if we go here in our panel, we want to go to systems and biped, and what we can do here is we just have to click and drag up our biped till it's roughly about the same height. It doesn't have to be exactly, as you can see, like so. Once we've got it selected, if we go along to our motion panel and turn on figure mode, this is important because what we want to do is basically scale the biped to fit our mesh. So if we switch on figure mode, we can then start to position skeleton, and just going to turn on our wireframe view. I pressed F3 there just to make sure we've got the biped in the middle, like so. And when we have, we can start to move some of our objects, like so. And can also do, trying to align them vaguely at the moment. Again, press F3 in your right view. You can work in your right or your left view at this point. It's not a big deal. And the main thing is to get roughly a flow of our model. And what I'm going to do now is, if we go to our scale, and to scale this axis here, again in the side view, we're just trying to roughly approximate the shape of our mesh here. Again, like so. And we've got it roughly right. And again, scale down, and scale your foot. When it's done like so, we can go down. I'm just going to open these panels here in the biped. And if you haven't got a collection ready, as you'll see, there's no collection there. You won't be able to press any of the buttons. So what you need to do is create a collection. And what I'm going to do is, if you select the top of your thigh here, double click on it, it will select everything below in the hierarchy. If you go to H, you see it's selected all of this here. If you want to display subtree, you can see that all the previous bones following that are selected. Once you've done that, you can click on copy, and you can then go to paste posture opposite, which copies the setup of the bones here. This just saves you time. And if you want to adjust any of the other properties of the model, you can see here in the structure we can add more links here, and just opportunity for further modification. And we've got the general kind of other bones and stuff we can add here as well. Like especially if you want to make horses and stuff, you can see all of the extra twists and things we can mess with at that point. So, with that said, we can now start to scale some of the rest of our bones. I'm just going to work here on the spine links. So, you're just going to start pushing these apart. Again, the object is to get roughly the size here. And don't worry so much that if it's not giving you 100% what you want, because it's just building it up over time. Just moving the neck back slightly. I'm going to scale it out, and again out, like so. Scaling the head out, and up, and then again. So we're basically just affecting everything with a scale modifier at the moment, just to make sure we've got most of our model set up properly. And it's going to move shoulder here, and again turn on our angle snaps here to rotate our hand 90 degrees, like so. That's selected. Make sure again that you've got everything set up correctly in as many views as possible, because this will change quite a bit, as you can imagine. So I'm going to scale our clavicles here, like so. Now our upper arm on our right, and we want it to come down a little bit more, just to basically where the joint is here, and that's selected. Do the same with our forearm, like so. Again, scaling, checking that all the views are set up how we'd imagine them to be. And again, scale these in like so. And then we have to set up our fingers separately. So we can move these and start to align them with our fingers that we've got here. And we can put as many links as we want in here, depending on how many joints we've modelled in. So as you can see, it fit nicely here, like so. And of course the thumb as well. And you'll probably need to go into your perspective a lot to get this sorted out properly. So this can depend a lot on how you've modelled your hand as well. So remember, keep checking all the different views at this point. You might have to toggle continually between your shaded and unshaded view. I've just gone into perspective here just to get a bit of a better view. Just going to rotate my finger like so, and again straighten it out. What I'm going to do now is I'll scale all axes for a minute, scale again like so. As you can see, it starts to fit our model properly. And again, you can scale this completely how you want to, using either several approaches depending on scaling one axis at a time. It's important to get this particular part right, because fingers can be a nightmare to rig if you do it sloppy. And at the moment what I'm trying to do is just fit a basic shape. As you can see, we've actually got 3 joints modelling in here, so to be honest we should be modelling it for a slightly different approach, but this one will work for now. And rotating again. It's all just about basic position at the moment. And pull that down too. So all we're trying to do is to match basic alignment of joints. Now once we've done that, we can call it quits. So if you've got the time, it's worth spending it on this particular part of the rig, because hands are more important, depending on your game as well, of course. But with Quake 3 it can help just to have a nice rigged arm. So once you've got your arm set up something similar to this, start again like the thigh, select the top bone, which is the clavicle, copy and paste opposite. And as you can see, we've got our basic skeleton set up pretty quick there. And what I advise you to do now is add some extra bones, and we shall do this using bones in systems in the next tutorial.